Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, welcome to a Ferrari spinning in the pit lane. Welcome to Bathurst. I think that might have been Papano. Was that Papano spinning? I think it might have been. Yes, it was. Oh dear. Well, that's one way to open a stream up. And hello everyone to round number 9. My name is Evil Dragon ASL, your usual host with a PS4 that isn't on fire today, which is useful because it being on fire is not very useful. Today, we're at nice old early morning, nice and sunny. It's good old Bathurst. We're down under in Australia. We're on a circuit that is very quick, very fast, and there's very much going to be an accident somewhere on the circuit, and it's going to be brilliant. Now, this circuit, I'm going to say that I did a bit of practice yesterday. I can tell you two things. One, I'm not very good. Two, I'm not very good. So, Big Boy here in the commentary box can tell you immediately that Evil doesn't like Bathurst. However, controversial as it is, it's a really fun circuit when you're not in a wall backwards at Skyline. Now, today we have 11 drivers. The championship has been decided. We've only got 11 runners, of course. That is a shame to see. One of the longer races of the calendar, only to have a limited amount of drivers. Gaza, currently your champion of the season. He, of course, ran it last time out at the beautiful Fuji International Speedway, if I'm not too mistaken. Got Papano, we've got Vectro driving the beautiful Honda there, so we'll see what he can do. Papano from Rosberg, Gazman out, remember, practice, of course, all in order. So remember, they have 10-minute, 8-minute to practice right now before a reversed grid race. That's reverse championship order. Meaning that Jan Rosberg will be starting on pole position alongside him, if I'm not too mistaken. I believe it might be Squelch right now, if I'm looking at second. We are missing quite a lot of drivers, of course, which is the reason it's going to be difficult for us to evaluate where everyone's standing. But I will get bit by bit and let you know that once I get any more information. Now we've got to look out for Bathurst. It's a long race. We're currently on the Conrod Straight. This is down with a Gaza and down towards the famous Chase Corner. It's a fast, flat, right-hand corner where you chuck it in about 167 kilometers an hour, chuck it down on the brakes, and hope everything sticks. Now, in terms of the grid, like I mentioned, this is what the grid looks like today. So, Jan Rosberg will start up in pole position for this race. There he is currently driving in the Audi. Alongside him will be Vectro, driving in the other Honda. In third position is going to be Camo, alongside Squirrel. It's going to gamble with Ben Milderman. Scold in P7, Papano P8, Clark. Then comes Ethan, Wolf and Gaza. The championship may already be over. However, 1 bit hours of racing, and oh dear. Now that doesn't look very good. That there is Wolf. Now he is lagging. And that's not what we want to do. Now hopefully we'll get a few words with some of the drivers, of course, in this course of the race. So, if we get any, I will let you know. But right now, with a bit of practice, we're looking at Squads coming through the corner. Behind him there, Milderman, driving in the beautiful red and orange and red. It's just green. It's beautiful. It looks like very much an Irish livery because it is an Irish livery. And there he is driving the SBR livery there, the Demon Tree livery. A beautiful, lovely livery. His teammate not here in the Z4. We've got Clark right now. He's driving in the other Lamborghini there down the hill. That's out of Scarlet, down into what I believe that is Forest Elbow. Yes, it is down towards the Conrod Straight. And it's a long run down here. Now remember, these turbocharged cars are going to be very good, so do not expect to see that Mercedes as competitive it has been in the last couple of rounds. However, it still is a force to be reckoned with. I did a bit of practice last night. Remember, the Ferrari was very good as well as Rosberg. Now, this circuit damages all on, so expect mistakes are going to be happening. It's the tightest circuit we'll be coming to this entire season. It's Monaco, which is bigger and has grass on it, and a gravel trap. And it's on a mountain. So there's a fact for you there. Now the circuit itself is hosted on public roads. It was originally designed in the 1920s. They thought, oh, let's go and build a racetrack around here. Now, Today still is public roads. You can drive up there in real life, of course, not when the track is open, but you can drive around it. It's a fast circuit. It's beautiful. You've got all the mansions along the circuit. And remember, back in the day, some of the barriers that you see here is not to be here. Up until 1997, at the top of the hill, there was no barriers. So if you went off there and hit the mound of dirt, it was very likely you were going to have a monumental accident. Many famous racing drivers came here. Of course, we can talk about some of the famous. Denny Hume, of course, tragically passed away here in 1992 down towards a chase. A Formula 1 legend. Since then, of course, the old V8 supercars come here quite often, of course, for their annual brilliant event, of course, situated in almost identical conditions to this one. Looking at Rosberg right now. He's at the top of the hill now, down towards Skyline. This little corner here left, Mercedes went off here with an Audi a couple of years ago. And right now, the Audi today, surviving into this flat left-hand. And you want to watch that going wide there. That curve, deadly. Now down they come, down the hill. This is where you get nervous. Car wanting a trick out here, then it's right, left, and then back into the right down towards Forest Elbow. Just like a downwards. Out for other gravel coming down here as well during the race. Into this little right there, you can see the 100-meter board there, recognising into the left they come then. And this is now what is almost the fastest part of the circuit down the Cotton Rod Straight. And you'll see they build up to about 260 kilometers an hour at minimum, maximum about 275. I imagine you might be able to see some of the cars in a tow. Rosberg, though, what's he up to then? Down towards the chase, about 264, 65 kilometers an hour then. Maybe 266 and down on the brakes. Chuck it into the left. Wolf there coming in for a practice pit stop. And then through out of that, then down towards Murray, the final corner on the circuit. And let's see what can Rosberg do then. On this, of course, practice, so it doesn't really mean too much. Reverse grid, remember, so he'll be starting on pole either way. But let's see what Rosberg can do. Looked a pretty decent lap, to be honest. You better go up to P1. Only P6 right now, so not the best lap there, I suppose, actually, in the end. So, struggling a little bit right now. Ahead of him, that is one of the Mercedes there. That must be Ethan. Yes, it is. P3 in the championship right now, alongside his teammate Wolf, who starts in second to last so far as well. There is Vector and Skolder doing their dilly-dally in the pit lane. Expect the unexpected, I normally say, around Bathurst. It's a quick circuit, and by the looks of Vector, it was very sideways there. And being sideways up this circuit, never ideal. Going wide as well, also not ideal. You go off here, and 9 times out of 10, you are having a monstrous accident. Down the hill they come then, and you've got to look at Vector. Having a poor season so far, he'll start at the front of the grid. He struggled with balance, he struggled with the car where his teammates managed to get the best out of it. Surely, though, Vector, he's had a lot of practice, he's got a new setup, he feels comfortable with the car, so hoping for him, a nice clean race for him, no mistakes hopefully as well. On a circuit as well, mind, that a mistake very much can lose a tyre. And on a circuit this quick and as well, I mean, it's talking about milliseconds of reaction time that Cameron, meanwhile, got himself very much invalidated. 1 minute 20 to go, by the way, here in practice then for this afternoon. Well, this morning, I suppose I will say then. Race. All I can say is grab your popcorn as Vector comes in the pit lane now then. Nice over those curbs in the gravel, and that's going to be the wall nearly if he's not careful. Got away with it there. I'm going to be very fortunate not to make critical mistakes around this circuit, because like I said, mistakes are everything. Rosberg coming through the chase then down towards Murray, the final corner. And this here is one of the fastest points of the circuit as well in terms of the last corner. It's one of the fastest last corners on the season. Now next week, of course, we'll get a Bruno, which is even quicker. But that there is a beautiful little double left-hander. Last corner, the first corner. It's a short run down there towards tyre number 1. So expect drivers to try and make up positions early if we can. In the practice race last night, I saw a spectacular flip in a few carnages with a few Mercedes and Ferraris. Let's hope we don't see that today. Of course, as well, getting lapped on this circuit, also one of the hardest things to do. Getting out of the way, not easy. Best place to do it really is apart from up the hill section would be here into Skyline, into the chicane. You can see it coming up next. The chicane here where very much some drivers will get out of the way when they see faster cars going up behind them. Now, all the drivers should be aware that trying to overtake here is always going to end in utter carnage. Oh dear! As Papano hits the wall, and proving exactly what I was about to say, it's difficult to overtake here, it's difficult to drive here, into the wall immediately goes Papano, then Ethan coming up through the back of the circuit, then down towards Skyline. And Ethan working well today. Down the hill, a bit wide down on the rear end, so struggling a little bit there with rear traction, but down the hill he comes, runs a bit wide. And remember as well, if you make a mistake up there and spin the car, you have to go almost down the hill in reverse. Ethan's given up on that lap, as he wants to get on with it. So then, Gazza was the quickest in this little practice session from Clark, Papano in P3, Rosberg in P4 there. So, you can see already that, like, you can see Clark and Gazza could have a real fight today. Very close pace between those two. Bit of a gap now. Remember, this is only practice, so it doesn't really matter too much, because now we get into the main race. Remember, 43 laps ahead of the driver. That should take 1.5 hours, give or take. It's a long run from the last corner to the first corner. It's a short run from the line to the first corner, remember. So anything can happen when we get underway, of course. Remember, before the formation lap as well. Remember, all these drivers have got to get themselves in grid position without making mistakes. And you can't put it past Rosberg here, having a good old race, trying to run away with it. He currently lies himself. He will be starting on the front with Vettel alongside in the Honda. Of course, Vettel unlikely to be, he might be swamped down the hill, down towards turn number 2, so expect potential for carnage down there. What's up for the Ferraris as well? Papano, he'll be a real challenge in the midfield. He was very quick last night, won the small evaluation race last night, of course, on the final lap into the final corner, beating, rather interesting, beating poor old Rosberg. But nonetheless, hopefully you'll see a repeat of that, because that will be carnage. Never count out, by the way. I'd like to Mildeman as well in the Lamborghini. Lamborghini's done relatively well this season. He currently lies himself P6 in the standing on the grid. People saying what happened to Sir Racelol, etc. I believe he had to pull out of the season due to commitments to real life racing, if I'm not too mistaken on that one. So we have got 11 drivers so far then. Vettel there, he's going to be down the back, so he's going to have to get himself through the front. Now this is always the tricky bit, getting themselves through all this traffic without managing to have a bit of an issue. Wait for the 5, wait 5 seconds, and they'll be underway. One by one, like Noah's Ark. And there you can see them all pulling out the way then, trying to find themselves grid positions then. So, we'll should see then, Jan Rosberg putting himself through into the lead then of this, as everyone parts themselves out of the way like the sea. And it is Rosberg leading them away then. What will be then Vettel in P2. Mildeman will be down there behind, I think, a few other drivers then, as they all get themselves in position. And immediately then, Rosberg starting to warm his tyres up with Vettel. Going to be the real challenger then. The Honda's very quick down a straight line, so watch out for that as well, into turn number 2. It's going to be interesting. Will Vettel be able to stay there? Can Camo in the Mercedes do anything? Squelton that Bentley, Mildeman, then Scold, Papano, Clark, Ethan, Wolf, and Gazza, your champion, by the way, starting down the back of the grid. They come up the top of the hill. Now, expect Rosberg, like I said before, he's got a real chance of winning today. He has to be the fan favourite. He leads. He changed the car from the Porsche to the Audi very much recently. He changed it for Indianapolis just a couple of rounds ago. That's why he starts himself on the front row of the grid. He has a real chance of running away. The Audi's been very good here. Now, what you need to do is make sure he gets the first couple of corners clean, no mistakes. A small mistake here, and you're going in the wall. That's all going to be the question about it. Like, are they going to keep it clean? Who's going to be the first one to make a mistake, and what's going to be the consequence of it? It's a tight circuit. one mistake with one of these drivers and they're all going off the road. So, as they come down Skyline for the first time, they're down towards the bottom of the circuit, down towards Forest Elbow. It is going to be, of course, Rosberg. He's got the nerves to be building all these drivers like they are in the commentary box. Gaza, down the back. He has to keep his nose clean. Ethan needs to be ahead of Wolf this afternoon if he wants to manage to confirm himself to get within a bigger shout of getting P2 in the championship in the final round. Wolf is going to have to try and be ahead of Ethan. That's going to be the crucial thing between those two. Skull, they're currently in P6. Will be wanting to try and come through the field. Wants to try and get another podium here today. He tried valiantly last week, but couldn't do it. In terms of the championship, like I mentioned, Gaza has 80 points advantage on a 255 from 175 right now for Wolf. Ethan at 145, 30 points off. So he desperately needs to be ahead and he needs to score very much well here today. Other real battle is going to be between, I believe it's up Mildeman, Hartshield, Coolvip, Gunner. They're all very close, of course. Only one is Mildeman currently in the server. As he comes down to the last corner, this might allow Scrolls to come up and put himself up to PA in the championship as well. Well, here we go then. They come through Murray then, the final corner for the first time then here today. Vector on the right, Rosberg on the left of your screen. Who's it going to be then? Down towards turn number 1 then. And when the flag drops, they'll be underway then here in Bathurst. And it's a good start immediately then from Rosberg. The Audi jumping up immediately then. Down towards turn number 1. We're going to see it nice and clean through there. I think everyone's made it through on the first lap then. One car running wide, two cars running wide. One of the Bentleys there. But crucially, everyone away then at the start of the race, and it's Rosberg leading immediately from Vector. Here comes that Mercedes though, lurking in the background with a huge amount of run there, going to the right, up the hill then, down then, and they come, but it's crucially Vector and P2 then, Camo P3, Mildeman, good start for him from Scald, then Cosmopano, Clark, Ethan up to P8 already then, made a good start from him, Wolf, Scroll to P9, Wolf and Gaza at the back. So everyone, crucially, getting themselves clean off the start then on the first couple of corners. That was crucial for all of them. But Rosberg already pulling the gap then from Vectro with Camo immediately setting up behind him. Then they come through Skyline then for the first time then in this race. And Camo already wants to try and make a move on Vectro. Vectro knows right now he's going to be under pressure. And all he really has to do right now is try and hold this train up immediately. Because look, already Rosberg pulling a second lead from Vectro, Camo, Mildeman. Good start for him, like I said, as well as Skull then in the other Honda. Papano, then comes Clark, Ethan, Scrolls, Wolf and Gaza, not making up any positions there at the start. There is Wolf and Gaza, so they're just taking a nice and easy at the start, knowing not really to make a mistake so far. Ready low, Rosberg starting to pull that gap. Now Rosberg did this last night. However, he made a few mistakes as well on his journey. Meanwhile, Ethan, they're getting very close to the back of Clark. And it's crucial to remember that on these opening laps, you do not, under no circumstance, chop off your nose, make damage on the car, because you will have to stop again. I spoke with some of the drivers, they said at best, you want to stop beyond lap 7 if you want a chance of refueling slightly to get to the end of the race, because you will need a bit of fuel. So we'll see what they do then. Ethan's going to be wanting to try and get more positions here already. Wolf there right now stuck behind Scrolls. He's going to get a good tow here. The Bentley low quite quick in a straight line, so Wolf's going to have to go the long way round then up the hill. Alongside the Bentley there trying up the inside, Wolf on the outside low, and Wolf there easily gets that position in the end then. So Mercedes still no match there for that Bentley, or vice versa I say. Ethan right now stuck behind this train of cars going all the way up to P2 right now. And that there, Vectro, Camo, Mildeman, Papano, Scold, Clark, Ethan, then a bit of a gap then to Wolf. So that is those three already off the start, and they're already getting closer together as well. Now, already, like I mentioned, Rosberg starting to pull that gap up the front. That is what he needs to do right away from Vectro. Camo, though, is in third position. Now, he just also needs to keep himself clean. They come down into Forest. Now, a bit of a mistake there for Vectro. That bit of a rear end stepping out. Now, we spoke to Vector earlier on, at least before the stream. He said he felt a little more comfortable today than he did in the other couple of rounds. So hopefully for him, we do not see anything wrong with his car. But let's see, down the straight is the Mercedes going to try and make a move here. Mercedes, lights ablaze. He's going to go up the inside, then into the chase. Vector is going to have to back off of it then. This could be messy then. Down the inside comes that Mercedes. He's got the move done. Yes, he has. Although is Vector going to try and come back? He thinks about it slightly. Can't do it then. So Camo up to P2 then ahead of Vector there in P number 3. Murderman currently in P4 so far. Doing good for him ahead of Papano. Skull down to P7 now, so he's made a mistake in the last couple of laps. Then he's dropped back a couple of positions immediately off the start, so that is not what Skull wants. And now he's got his long-time rival and former teammate from last season, season 10, season 11 as well, and it is Mr. Ethan. So let's see what those two can do. They're very, very much close combatants, and Skull always this season said he wants to have a battle with Ethan and prove himself a worthy competitor. Well, let's see. Here's your chance. Honda versus Mercedes, and wow, look at that. The Mercedes pulls alongside the Honda and straight ahead. Skull that, nothing he could do, nothing at all. He had no pace down the straight, overtaken immediately, and now down to P number 8, even up to P7. Vector right now a little bit wide. He's trying to come back to that at good old Camo right now, but a bit of a gap there, about 5/10 in front. Remember, Rosberg already pulling that gap. He's now got it to 2.4 seconds. Stonking pace there from him, and he's immediately going wide. Just as I say that, I cut to him, he off the road, and that is not what he wants to do. Does not need to make mistakes. They come down the hill. Remember, of course, these turbo-powered cars are going to be a lot faster than these naturally aspirated Mercedes engines. So expect, if they do get close, and we do hope so, that we could see overtakes right now. Milderman and Vectro close together. This could be an opportunity then for Vectro to come and overtake Camo. Then down the straight they come, and we should be able to see the Honda into the Honda engine there, the Acura, down the straight. Now, which way is he going to go? Is he going to go left? Is he going to go right? He's sticking up behind them now. He's going to go the long way around, then into the chase. That'll be brave stuff then. On the outside, he's on the grass. Can he get the car stopped on the brakes? Yes, yes, no, he's off the road. He spun and spun again. Off he goes. Late on the brakes, he's on the grass. That's cost him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. There he rejoins right ahead of his teammate. Right ahead of his teammate. Scotty's also gone off the road somewhere because he's now dropped further down the field. He's now behind Wolf. So the two Hondas going from bad to worse and into the wall. There goes Scold. He's tapped it there as well for good measure, and here comes his teammate back through that. So the two Hondas coming to blows then with barriers themselves. Now Vectro ahead of his teammate, and that there was not what Vectro wanted to do. And out of the race already on that number 5 goes Scold already there. So I don't know what's happened. He tapped the wall and is out of the Australian Grand Prix before it has really ever begun. So the man who was on the podium the last 2-3 races, out already on the beginning of the race, and all you could say is bitter heartbreak there in the Honda garage as one car out, one car's got issues, already down in P8. Absolutely incredible scenes. We'll be able to hear hopefully later on what has happened there, but he is out. And he will not be here next week. Of course, Skull will be missing next week, so that there is but a hammer blow to his real championship charge. He needed to get a good finish here today, and he has not. Camo, Papano, Milderman, Clark, Ethan. They're all close together right now down the bottom of the hill. And you've got to wonder, down in the slipstream, how good is that Mercedes? Not very close right now. Look, I say that Clark, they're trying to line the cars ahead of them then see that down they come, down towards the chase. Is Clark close enough to try and make any move? Is anyone going to make a mistake? Nope. Yes, they do make a mistake. Papano goes off. I think that might have been one of the other cars. I think that might have been Camo. Yes, it was off the road as well. And in the pit lane. And that there, incredibly early. And we have another car off the road there. I think that might have been Papano going wide or having a mistake there. As he drops behind Ethan now. So a small mistake there for Papano. Puts him down to P8 so far. Vettel now up to P6 again in this race. Hopefully we can hear from Scold in a few moments' time what happened to him. But crucially low, he is out here in Australia. The first retirement of this afternoon. 10 drivers now remain with some, 36 odd laps to go. So hope you've got some popcorn because we're in for a nice old treat. Meanwhile, Milderman, Clark, Ethan all very close together. That's a bit close to the wall there for Clark there. And Clark trying his hardest right now as he come through the top of the hill then down towards Skyline. Through they come then into this long tricky left hand. You want to watch out that come on the outside like I mentioned earlier on in practice. Go wide. There you're going round into the wall with a high rate of knots. So far, Rosberg has got himself a 7, almost 8 second lead up the front. Incredible pace. As you watch the drivers then coming down, there's a mistake there, and that's he gone in the wall. Is Clark got away with it there? I think he has. Yes, he did. No damage on the front, but I was about to say you can get airlifted on the car. It's a very tricky corner for his elbow, and Clark off the road. Luckily, though, kept it out of harm's way, kept himself out of trouble, and he gets to carry on for another lap. With Ethan now up to P3, and this is exactly what he needed in this race. He needs to be ahead of his teammate, and he currently is, and now behind his former visceral teammate. He is now behind SBR Milderman. So let's hope there's no blood loss between these two former esports teams. But Milderman trying his hardest right now just to hold off right now that charge from the Mercedes. Looking further down the field, if I might say. We've got Clark and Wolf. Wolf down to P5 now. Gazza in P6. Battle here between Papano and Vectro then. The Honda looking rather lively then on the back of the Ferrari there. So let's see Vectro who's dropped back down to P8 in this race. Struggling with grip. Struggling with tyre pressure as well again. And for him, he really right now just wants to keep himself clean, keep himself out of trouble. A long old race right now, and his teammate already out. Just really shows a surprise to me. I thought Skolder would have carried on no matter what. Points, of course, can mean anything in this race as Metro tosses the ball there down towards Skyline. Very tricky part of the circuit if you make a mistake. The moon in the background. Risen. Oh no! No, 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 no! That is not what you want to see! There's problems there down at the bottom of the hill! And that's Milderman, that's Colvin! Was that Clark my problem? That is Wolf in trouble! And we feared something like this could have happened, and it's happened immediately! Here on that number 7, and Milderman, broken! He's damaged, he's limping! What has happened? What has happened? There on Australia. Is if he got damaged? I don't know. Clark was round. Papano have almost got involved. Gaza trying to make moves as well. But Carnage here in Vectro. Coming through. Nudge off the road. Another one. Carnage here in Australia. My goodness. And Vectro there realises it. He backs off. Now he's under pressure potentially. From Wolf who slipped through. Says thank you very much, my friend. But Carnage here on lap number 7 onto lap number 8 here around Mount Panorama. And no, that now means even in P2, I'm wondering if he was involved in that. We'll have to look at it later on, but everything got rather close rather quickly up the top of the hill. Mildeman in the pits. Long stop. This is not what he wanted to see. The last thing he wanted, now he's almost a lap down soon. He's a long stop there for damage. I expect he'll be in there for a long, long, long time. Meanwhile, Vector and Scrolls banding together. Scrolls has got past Vector that. The Honda still working well today. Still in P8, remember, and P8 is a position, as long as you don't make a mistake, I say, goes off the road. I've got to wonder, by the way, how much damage has that done to Clark? Well, he's dropping back into the clutches of Papano, and I would love to see what happened later on after the race, exactly what has caused that crash. However, all it does mean is we've allowed Rosberg and Ethan to pull out a 20-second lead almost on the rest of the field. Incredible pace. And here Papano has a look up the inside. There's Clark. He's got damage there. You can see he's weaving a little bit. The Lamborghini damaged as well. He's got damage there somewhere on the car. So Papano out to P3. Gaza P4 as Mildeman exits the pit lane. A lap down already on lap 8 after contact with Clark, with contact with Wolf. We don't know what happened there. We believe potentially that Clark spun the car. Mildeman was there. Vectro, a penalty there. That will be a 10-second time penalty as well. And that there going from bad to worse for the Honda team here today in Australia. It's going downhill quicker than the Titanic for them. But Papano and Ethan there, and as well as Rosberg keeping themselves out of trouble. There is Ethan, and there you can see Mildeman getting lapped in due course. So we'll see in a few moments' time where Mildeman gets out of the way. And we said getting lapped is going to be the issue here. Down the hill they come then, into Skyline, down the bottom of the hill, of course, into this tricky little section down towards Forest Elbow. There you can see your leader into Forest Elbow right now. Here's Ethan. He wants to get a move on and wants to get past Mildeman ASAP, because Mildeman might be going quicker, but he has damage, remember, and he is completely entitled. He has to get out of the way. Meanwhile, Wolf, Squelch, Clark, Gaza are all close together as well. Gaza dropping this field a little bit right now. Clark there in that Lamborghini going backwards now. He has damage like we said earlier on. He's now behind Gaza, and I fear that the Lamborghini has a lot more damage than we believe. That's Wolf. Oh dear. Bit of lag. Up the inside then down towards the corner. I believe has he backed off that one? Yes, he has. He might have a look up the inside, low on the brakes. Let's see down the inside. Can he do it? No, has to sit back for the time being. Oh, this is allowing everyone else to run away. So Ethan's got past the car of Mildeman then. So Mildeman got out of the way relatively easily there, it seems, for him. In comes Clark into the pit lane. This needs to be a smooth stop. He should come out ahead of Vectro though, so that'll be interesting to see where those two come out then. Small stop, they'll take on a bit of fuel. And then they'll go to the end of the race. Here then. So, on lap number 9 then, lap number 10 for your leaders. Rosberg, Ethan, Papano, that's your top 3. Gaza, Wolf, Scrolls, Clark, Vectro, Camo, Mildeman. That's your top 10 out of this race is Scold. And something we feared might happen has already happened then, as there you can see Ethan getting very close up to the wall there, And remember, for Ethan right now, he is currently in a very good position to jump up, potentially into a shout in the final round of getting P2 in the standings. 30 points behind he is right now. P2 should give, I believe, about 25 points. So he's on all course for the best result of the season for him for a long time. Had 2 disconnects and 2 retirements in the last 2 races. Today, though, it's his lucky day so far, but let's not put the middle finger on it. Let's not curse him dreadfully. Gaza right now P4 as well, the championship leader. He wrapped up the championship last time out, of course, in the heat as well. Meanwhile, Wolf's still battling away with squads right now. Lap 10:43. Remember, it's a 2 minute 30. Well, it's about 2 minutes 6 a lap. So it should take about 1 hour to finish the race. About 86 minutes, give or take. There is Vector. Taps the wall there down the hill there. That's into Skyline. That might have done a bit of damage to his car. Looks like he's struggling a little bit low with grip, with tyres or something. Doesn't look right all of a sudden because he's starting to make small incremental mistakes. And when you make a small mistake around here, it very quickly turns into a very big mistake. Meanwhile, up the road, I believe Wolf's come in the pit lane then. Yes, he has. With the damage he had earlier on, I expect this might be a longer stop. Long stop then, here for Wolf. And let's hope everything goes well for him. Of course, he should be. I believe he might be behind Vector, of course, with the damage he has in the race there. You can see, comes Vector then through the last corner. So Wolf then will come out with the damage behind him. Now he's released, so he's going to have to get it all in the work. Or then he might just come out ahead of Camo, however. He should come out and be very close with Camo. So let's see, it's 59 kilometers an hour. So Camo through, then up to P7. Here today. Vector out to P6. Now remember, he has a 10-second time penalty. So he currently is P8, I believe. Wait for the telemetry to build up. Yes, about P8 counting. Those Mercedes, remember, very quick. So they'll be challenging and charging back through the field. Squelch right now in P number 5. Remember, the sun starting to rise here today then around the circuit. So he started in the darkness of night, and now the light starts to prevail through the clouds. Right now, though, up front is an 8.1 second lead then from Ethan Papano right now in P3. Down they come then into the back of the circuit, and this is where everything starts to get a little bit cooler right now, where everything just comes down ever so slightly here. And remember, this is where everything is a lot more calmer. This is the state of the season where now the champion's been wrapped up. You'd think everyone's wanting to go for it, but right now the field very spread out. And you've got to say, though, for Ethan, he's doing a good job of just keeping himself clean, not making mistakes. He's ahead of Papano right now, the Ferrari. Dropping back, Gaza closing up ever so slightly. Last lap a 2:07 compared to a 2:06. So saying that, Papano right now a little bit quicker. Squelch dropping back in that Bentley. Vector right now pulling away right now from Camo and pulling away from Wolf, who's catching up to the back of the other car. Behind them is Clark and Milderman. Not a lot going on between those two. Wolf right now, you've got to say, an impressive debut season for him. He's kept himself out of trouble. He's kept himself out of harm's way throughout this season. He's made a few mistakes throughout it. But crucially for him, where he needs not to make a mistake, He's kept himself clean where he needs to be, making positions. He's making positions. Today is probably the day he was dreading, where he makes a small mistake. He was caught up in an accident, not his fault at all, and was rather caught out entirely. There's even right now his teammate. He should be within about 12 points of him coming to the final round if they finish where they do right now. Remember, one retirement from this race, that being Scold. To come now down towards the first real scary moment of this circuit. This right-hander taken at about 240 kilometers an hour, almost 250. You chuck it in down to about third gear, maybe in second, 140 kilometers an hour on the exit, and then you just gotta hope there's nothing in the way. A blind left-hander into this corner. If there's a mistake here, there's nothing you can do. Into the hairpin, and then the rise up to 826 meters. Into the right, and then up to the top in towards Skyline. And even that small mistake, tap the wall there down towards Skyline. That isn't what you want to do here. As he's now come back down this hill. And this is also the section of the circuit where you just have to look. Make sure nothing happens. No mistakes here. If you spin here like we saw earlier on, there is going to be an almighty shunt. We're down now to 9 runners. So, I believe we've lost someone else. And I'm wondering, is that Milderman out of the race? Yes, it is. So we've now lost 2 runners. Here today, we've now lost Wool, Scold, and we've now lost Milderman from this afternoon then. So Milderman, of course, caught up in the carnage earlier on, is now out, and we're now down to 9 runners. Here on that 13 of 43, 30 laps still to go. Head of the drivers, and they're dropping like flies. Camera in the wall slightly there, and he was making not too many of those mistakes, as now you can see the beautiful sunrise over the Mount Panorama Hills in the background. Here in Bathurst, daylight starting to be about 6 in the morning. Enjoyment starting to brew, and everything getting very much more interesting. Remember now, they need to not make mistakes. So, down the hill they come then, and Squad's right now. Gotta say, fair play to him, P5. He's doing an absolute beautiful job. Scrollso, like I mentioned a few moments ago, doing a fantastic job. He's currently in P5 in the Bentley. Now remember, he's still yet to come with a stop, so I'm wondering where he's going to be between veterans. About a 40-second pit stop, so, and he is about 26 seconds, about 30-odd seconds maybe. It's a slow pit entry. I've seen before cars get stuck in that pit lane. If you have as well, let me know in the chat if you've had issues down there. But nonetheless, through they come. Squelch right now, P5, Veteran P6, he's dropping back a little bit right now. Camo in P7 from Wolf in P8. Clark in P9. And so far, like I said, they've kept it relatively clean, of course. Clark, Milderman, Wolf are all caught up in that carnage earlier on. And you just gotta hope nothing bad happens. You just gotta hope nothing goes wrong. No mistakes, no carnage. I mean, one small mistake here for any of the drivers like we saw earlier, and they're all out of the race. There's lucky no massive accident happened, no massive pile-up. We saw before, I saw last night in the practice race, when we saw a Ferrari spin right in front of me. I had nowhere to go. I hit the Ferrari, it flipped over. I was damaged. There was a multi-car pile-up behind me, 4 or 5 cars involved. And it was just terrible disaster, but so far so good for everyone as the race starts to pan into a little bit of a quiet zone here. with not a lot of action going on the circuit. So if you do have any comments, by the way, in the chat, do put them down in the comment section, and I will do my best to answer them here as the race pans itself into a bit more of a procession now, and we're expecting a few drivers to come in the pits in the next couple of laps. Now, Rosberg, we have a talking point about this. Rosberg, who changed last in Indianapolis from the Porsche, was P3 in the championship, P4 in the championship, to go and drive in the Audi, the car which we haven't seen very much and since the beginning of at least beyond last season. It was a very interesting choice, in my opinion, to change to that car, because he was so comfortable. Now, inadvertently, what it has allowed him to do is almost certainly, within a shadow of a doubt, be in the prime opportunity to win here in Bathurst. But the thing is, though, he ruined his entire championship. He did not finish in Sugo. He was caught out in a crash with Skuld. He had issues last time out as well. And today, in Indianapolis, I say, and today again, not having the best of runs either. So you've got to wonder, for Rosberg, would it have been better with him staying in that Porsche? But what it's allowed right now, like I said, he leads his first race officially because he hasn't managed to finish a race so far in a comfortable trajectory. He was brilliantly jobbed last time in Indianapolis, but today is a different day. He leads the first time. He has a massive lead. Well, Rosberg leads from Ethan, leads from Rapano, Gaza, Scrolls, Vectro, Camo, Wolf, Clark right now is around this bit of a circuit as action starts to slowly ponder, and you got to wonder, in terms of the pit stops, what is going to happen. And hopefully, of course, Skull can let us know what happened to him in a few moments' time as well, potentially, or whoever is out of the race, of course, can let us know. And talking of the devil, there is the devil, and Skull, what happened out there?
I had a knock on the door.
You had a knock on the door.
And I just don't feel confident around here.
So, in terms...
Danger.
Yeah, danger. In terms of how the race is going, not a lot of action going on. How have you seen it so far? Very much a procession. Was that what you're expecting?
I mean, top 4 are running away. I knew something like that would happen, just if they can keep it on the road.
The crucial thing is keeping on the road. Vetch, of course, a 10-second time penalty just a few moments ago in the pit lane. Easy thing to do. Now, I'm wondering, Skuld, you've, of course, had a bit more practice in the pit lane. How difficult it is down there to get the car stopped?
I haven't driven in the pit lane here yet.
I
haven't done...
So
I've already done it backwards.
Yeah, you've done it backwards, the pit lane. It's easy to spin, to be honest, and as well, yeah. What do you say is the real danger point of this circuit?
Everywhere for me. But it's up the hill, I think. Yeah, up the hill for me especially.
Yeah, towards Skyline.
From Griffiths Bend to Forest Selber.
Yep, so down the hill.
Can't do it. Up and then down, yeah.
Up and down, just the hill in general. Not having the best day.
Can't. No. And I'll be missing next week, so this is my last, well, kind of, yeah. This is my last race.
Yeah, your last race forever here today then, so...
Not forever.
Hopefully not forever. Hopefully not. We'll hopefully see you back next season.
Hopefully it's not your last race either.
Yeah, who knows? Well, there they come then in towards Murray, and you've got to say, Vettel's doing relatively okay right now, which is good to see him doing so far so good. I'm going to say this, he's going to go off the road in a spectacular fashion, isn't he? So
he's hit the wall a few times.
Yeah, he's been touching the wall here and there, but just keeping himself...
Keep it in the top 6,
yeah,
because I know Wolf's quick. Keep the Mercs behind him, he'll be right. And he can catch up to the Bentley, which I don't think is pitted. That'd be quite good as well.
The Bentley, like I said, hasn't stopped. By the way, did you see the incident earlier on, by the way, down the hill with Wolf? Because if you were looking at the telemetry...
I think I just saw the stream, a green Lambo in the middle of the track. And...
Uh-oh, that's Wolf, lagging. That's not good.
Is he?
Yeah, a little bit of lag there for Wolf, so that could be not ideal for some of the drivers, especially with Wolf. He has a connection that is stable sometimes, but it does go sometimes, doesn't it? And around a circuit like this, would you say this? Oh, there's a car off! Something's gone wrong! Something's gone horribly wrong! We've got a Mercedes off! And a huge way there at the top of the hill! And he's backwards there, about 130 miles an hour! Backwards he goes! Somehow, Wolf avoids it there, and that was an almighty shunt there at the top, rear end gone! And that there, he's going to have to be very careful now. And an almighty shunt there for Camo. What on earth has happened there?
He hit a wall.
He has hit the wall. Good analogy. But crucially, that was an almighty off. Now I'm wondering, has he clipped the wall on the outside? Potentially, or has he lost it into the curb? That is always a possibility, but he went in that wall at a high speed and not. Wolf, very fortunate to keep himself out of that.
He could have hit him.
He very much could have, and when you have an off like that, it's going to be big. Right now, Wolf now P7, Vettel in P6, Clark in their Camo coming down towards the bottom of the circuit. Top 3, all separate by 18 seconds now. Gaza closing up a little bit against Papano, but so far the Mercedes does not look very on it. And you got to wonder, for those Mercedes drivers, could this be just a circuit-specific thing, would you say, Scald, or do you think this is a general issue that could happen at Bruno?
What issue?
With the Mercedes, it does not look as quick as it did normally.
I mean, it is fast because obviously there's some Mercedes up there, but for the once this season, the Merc is one of the slowest on the straight.
Which is a real surprise.
Yeah, the Ferrari's much quicker than that Merc down the straight, which shocked me, and I'm glad about it. But I don't know what the Merc's like at Bruno. I think he might struggle a bit. I don't know.
No, right now,
I won't be there to find out.
Ethan in P2, last lap at 2:06.4. He's about a tenth quicker than Rosberg.
He went wide at turn 1 on this lap, so this lap won't be as good.
Oh. Rosberg, there he is, currently leads this afternoon, 9 seconds. And this is what we feared was going to happen, Scott. And I think we've all agreed that Rosberg, if he doesn't make a mistake and do something very silly, he's very much got a high opportunity to win here.
Yeah, don't commentate curse him, but yeah, if he doesn't touch a wall,
hopefully,
he has a chance of winning it. Because him and Ethan have similar pace. So I think the only way they can catch up is Rosberg crashes.
Yeah, if Rosberg crashes. Well, Papano as well, the other Ferrari doing an okay job. He as well.
Don't count him out either.
Yeah, don't count anyone out.
Or Gaza.
Yeah, Gaza as well.
Top 4, anyone could win.
The Bentley, not doing a too shabby job. The gap 27 seconds, about a 30-second pit stop. As he goes in the wall, just as I say that. Wow.
Yeah, that corner is really hard.
Yeah, hard, high speed, almost blind. And the Bentley's well, it's a boat. It's a very big boat. it's
biggest
massive,
car
and
here.
with its yellow thing, it almost blends in with the sky. Because, well, you could call it the Lion King if you go on board with some of the drivers there, but it looks beautiful. I mean, what, we're going on board with Vettel right now.
Yeah, I saw on the stream that Bentley going side by side with a Merc. The Merc looks small.
The Merc is very small as it comes down the back of the circuit. Meanwhile, Ethan now got that gap about 10 seconds, so like you said, made a mistake there, lost about a half a second. Papano, guys, we're on that 19 of 43, by the way. Still a long way to go, like I said. Any comments, do put them in the chat below if you have any questions for me or any of the drivers. Skull can answer some questions as well, if anyone wants to put any down in the chat. But nonetheless, a season of which has had its ups, had its downs. We've had a first champion for this season already, and that is Gaza, of course. So far, though, it is Wolf and Ethan P2 and 3 in the championship. I believe, if my calculations are correct, which they won't be, it's going to be about 12, 13 points, I think it could close down to, potentially. I'm not exactly too certain, Scott, if you can let me know. How many points does second get again?
30.
So 30 points. So
I've got it twice this year, so I should know that.
As it stands, it'll be very close. And how many does 7th get? I'm wondering then. Doing quick maths in my head.
I don't know.
So I think about 12 points.
Nearly around 20. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe about 12, 13 points potentially. So that could be very close. So for the final round, basically, if all Ethan needs to do right now is stay ahead and make sure he does not make any silly mistakes that come down the Conrad Straight then into the terrifyingly quick chase, which is a blinding right-hander, which you go at about 170 odd miles an hour. Chuck it in, don't crash, hope nothing goes wrong, and if you make a mistake, hope the car doesn't go upside down backwards in a million miles an hour into the wall, because that's happened to me a few times. Not because I've had contact with another driver, but it normally is because I have contact with another driver, but it's so fun when you have contact down there. And as you very much well know, Scold, with me and you tending to crash normally when we're near each other, crashing down towards the chase always hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, as we found out.
Yeah, we found out last night because we went side by side, and Skull kind of slightly tapped me, and then he was like flying back to the gravel trap at like 160 miles an hour. It didn't end well, if you're wondering. I ended well. I still put it the right way. I finished that race. Skull didn't. You didn't finish this one either.
Funny. I have reasons.
You do have reasons. Well, nonetheless, though, Squelch right now at P5. And the Bentley, like I said, again, he's doing okay. He does still have to come in, but it's just kind of this topsy-turvy grid where we're missing, give or take, we are now officially missing half of the field, and it's a bit of a shame that we've lost so many drivers.
I think this has happened for the past few seasons. I've been here. Towards the end of the season, the driver attendance is a bit low.
Of course, some have their reasons, of course. But it is always a shame, etc. We love to see a full grid.
It's the wrong time of the year as well, because it's holiday season.
Yeah, the holiday's in full effect. Now, by the way, if you're wondering, some information, by the way, for next little season, there is, officially, I think it's announced, the Phil League is going to be touring cars. Which is...
Are you doing it?
I might do it. We'll see how that goes. I like the touring cars. Depends on what one. If it's the Merc, sure, I might try and drive. If it's not the Merc, I'm going to die. But
I wonder if it will be a one make.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Let's see what happens. Meanwhile, though, Ethan going down the hill, and he's still in P number 2, and 9 drivers.
He's closed the gap for 2 seconds.
There he has. So I'm wondering.
Oh, Jan's in the pits.
Yeah, that's why. I was about to say, I'm wondering, is he coming the pit lane then? Because it was going, that gap was dropping. So Rosberg, lap 21, half the race to go now. I'm expecting Ethan will retaliate and come straight in the pit lane this lap. Try not to get himself out of the way. This is what Ethan needs to do. Is just try and stick with him. Really, don't make pit early because anything can happen, of course. Gaza now through. I'm wondering, will Scrolls come ahead of him? That could be very close between those two.
Do you want to say that again?
Scrolls I can't pronounce. I've never been able to pronounce it. It's a German name. I can't pronounce German things. Okay, leave me alone.
What's the Nürburgring's second name then?
Nordschleifer.
There you go.
I can pronounce some German things. Let's see, it'll be very close. This is going to be close, actually, between these two. Let's see the Bentley coming through. It's be close down towards turn 1 there. You can see he'll get on the throttle now. Let's see, is that Bentley going to come through? Yes, he is then. So just ahead there of the Audi. And that is probably the last thing that Audi wants to see is a massive Bentley in front of it. Now this could be awkward now for Rosberg. He needs to try and dispatch the car. That Bentley's quick, and that's not going to be easy to dispatch. So he's got to really hope that Squads comes in the pit lane ASAP. Because if he gets stuck behind him, that's going to allow Ethan to come and close up massively.
Yeah, it takes us past the track.
A bit more than half the track sometimes. You know, if it spins low, it'll take up the entire thing. Because that thing is about the size of the Titanic. Sounds good, though.
Not on this game.
Not on this game, but it sounds good in real life. I'll give it that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Not
it looks better as well in real life.
It's always one of those cars, and it's just one of these shameful things on this game that the Bentley isn't the quickest car on the game. It's not equal to everything else, and that's what I miss about GT endurance racing, etc. As well, like Blancpain, they're all equal cars, give or take. Maybe like half a second between them. In this game, of course, they've got a second or two, and that really affects them, doesn't it, Skulls?
Yeah, I agree. Most Blancpain cars in real life are equal, and then you got this game where the Merc, appropriate word, goes away in a straight line, and then you get cars such as the Acura or the Bentley or name another one, the Beamer,
McLaren,
for example, the M6, McLaren. It's a shame they're in the right hands; they'll be good, but for standard people, I guess they are slower. Yeah, and then you get like I said, the cars like the Merc, the Audi, the Lambo, and is that it? Yeah,
it's pretty much it. Z4 sometimes,
and maybe the Ferrari. They are the best. In the right hands, the others are good as well.
Yeah, well, so far again, second season in a row, Mercedes locked out of the championship. By the way, they have won it, and I must say a coincidental thing, by the way, that back-to-back seasons, the same livery has won the championship. Last season,
has it?
Yeah, it was Schmidt won it last time. I think it was Infect driving that exact livery. I think it was Schmidt or Infect drove that exact livery, and again this season, Gaza champion. So a little coincidence there.
Changing car next season.
Yeah. Mercedes back-to-back champions, and maybe next season, whatever it gives, might be able to do another one. Meanwhile, I'm seeing right now that poor old Rosberg kind of stuck behind that Bentley a little bit right now. He's kind of in that window, 5/10, where you're going to get dirty air and he touches the wall. Rear wing's gone. Rear wing's gone. He has issues. He has issues. Rosberg lost his rear wing here in Australia. And that's what we said he needed not to do. And that is gone. He's off. Rear is gone. And that is off. Into the wall. Out of the race. Surely he's going to have to come in the pits. And that is shocking. Shot. He needed to get past. He needed not to push. And he's off down there into the bottom of the hill. He's off. He's in the wall. And that is the last thing he wanted to see. He is dropped and plumb on the circuit. He can't get it going. Can he get the car turned? He's blocking the circuit. Now he's back on the circuit. But can you believe it? Here in Australia, Rosberg, he's led the race so comfortably. He comes in the stop, he was caught behind the Bentley, and now he's basically out here in Australia. Incredible. What about that? And that now means, Ethan, that he's in the lead here in Australia when he comes in the stop. How does he know? Does he know? Is he aware now about it? Absolute incredible scenes, as long as he doesn't make a mistake. And boy oh boy, that's the second car we've seen go off there. We saw Camera go off there earlier on, and now Rosberg off there, and he's in the pit lane, and that's going to be a long stop. absolutely shocking. And I've never seen something as dramatic like that. Rosberg throws away what could have been, Scold, a very, very easy victory. He had a 10-second lead. He did not need to push as hard as he was. And he threw it away. And that is not the thing he needs to do. And you've got to feel for him. He's in the stop. He's coming back out now. It's a long race. You've still got half the race to go. But that is absolutely incredible. And that means, without a shadow of a doubt, he comes in the pit lane, that Thomas Heaton is your leader here in Australia, as long as he doesn't make a mistake as well. The partner will take the lead overall, though, in this race for the time being, as Ethan is in the pit lane. Gazza now will be P2. But what a shocker, what a turnaround in the space of just 2 single laps.
I'm back.
As Scold returns, as Rosberg out of this race pretty much. Incredible. And again, Scott, like we mentioned, that's part of the circuit. The top of the hill is incredibly difficult. And Rosberg, proving what we said, hit the wall. Exactly what Camo did. That there is a shocker. Because did he need to push that hard, do you think?
I think it was just because he was behind that Bentley.
Dirty air, of course. Lost the rear, lost all concentration, and he had it out so far on the front. Do you think he really expected, or did he just lost all concentration, didn't really understand about the kind of the dirty air on this circuit, wasn't aware?
Well, he's been in front all race, so he probably didn't expect it. Did not expect it, probably, and just understood off. Was it the slightest bit of contact on the wall?
Slightest bit of contact, and then the rear end immediately gone. And it's happened to me
he
before.
crashed again, didn't he?
Yeah, he made another mistake as well. Down, of course, down at the bottom of the hill, down into the forest elbow, and he's off the road again. And this is going from bad to worse, and that rather has completely shot his attempt at the race. And you've got to feel now.
Clark and Vectro.
Yeah, Clark and Vetro getting close together, and that's coming down toward turn number 2. And there, you can see the Lamborghini passing and getting past and through the Honda. And that Honda, of course, not a quick thing in a straight line.
It is.
Oh, he's in the wall. He's off, and he's going back through. Is he the outside line? I think has he got through just ahead? Yes, he has. So, small mistake, and that almost going to be more damage there, and he might have got away with not losing any damage.
Hit the wall.
Clark touched the wall. Papado in the pit lane, meanwhile, from the lead up for this race, as Vetro touches the wall as well. Yeah. And this is getting messy.
Clark had damage.
Clark, he had damage earlier on, of course. Was involved in that carnage.
Right, let's see where Papano comes in.
Papano in. He should come out behind.
I like how his pit crew are holding wet tyres.
Yes, of course, that's a little bit of a graphic twist. Hope he's not put wet tyres on, that'd be a bit interesting. Meanwhile, down the bottom of the hill, is Vetro going to be under real pressure here from Clark? We know how good that Lamborghini is if it gets a tow. So let's see. I think he's a little
Clark's got damage.
Yeah, I think Clark, you know, he might be right. He might have damage.
Watch if he's crabbing.
Let's see, yeah, a little bit. So I think you might be right, Scott. He might have a bit of damage somewhere. It might be just minor enough.
Papano and Ethan are quite close. I think.
4 seconds. And right now, all Ethan needs to do is not crash, and he could.
Park the bus.
Yes, he needs to park the bus, not crash. Just be careful. Oh dear. Well, he hits the wall just when we mention it, Lewis. We are cursing him today. He makes another mistake. He's pushing it. He knows right now.
What happened?
He got very close to the wall, and that was up into that little right-left hander.
You reckon he's got damage?
He shouldn't have got it. We should have got away with that there. It's the crucial thing is not to knock the rear ring off. And this circuit is known to knock the rear ring off. It's probably the easiest circuit on the game to knock that rear ring off, I would say, isn't it?
I missed that. Sorry. What?
Pretty easy to knock the rear ring off around this circuit, isn't it? Surprisingly.
Yeah, Jan proved it. Yeah.
Jan, Camo, both in trouble. Meanwhile, well, this has meant, by the way, that Squalt is currently a P4, and we believe he's still yet to come in.
He is.
We believe.
Yes, he's still yet to pit in.
Yeah, so Wolf should be P4.
Wolf will jump in. Oh, Clark got past Vector.
Yeah, Clark back past Vector in the meantime. So the battle there between those two, turning into a little bit of a scrap right now. Vector, though, doing a fair job. P7. He's just keeping himself out of trouble. And again, it's the crucial thing. Keeping yourself out of trouble today is going to be the interesting thing. If you don't make a mistake, you're in a good shout of winning. If you're Rosberg, who made a small mistake, it was the ever so slightest mistake. He just got a little bit wide through the top of the hill where he's coming now and grazed the wall. It was the ever so slightest graze in the rear wing. We saw it fling off, and he went straight off the circuit, and then he's not really recovering from it so far. He's 13 seconds behind Vetro, so Vetro's going to have to be in trouble, I imagine. He should be caught pretty quickly. 2 seconds a lap quicker, I might say, as well. So, should better get him past within the next 5 laps. Ethan Papano, meanwhile, top 3. Gaza leaves this race, of course, and Gaza will stay out, I imagine, for a long, long while. Because we know what Gaza's like. He doesn't come in until probably around about lap 36, I imagine. Will be the ideal situation for him, though I've been proved wrong before.
He'll run out of fuel. So.
Yeah, he will run out of fuel. Ethan right now has got lap traffic, that there of Camo just ahead of him. So Camo should probably be able to get out. He should catch him, I believe, down towards the chase by the telemetry, by the looks of it there.
He's not going to be like stuck behind that car. He's not going to like it.
He's not going to be liking this at all. He's probably going to be screaming, get out of the way. He's not. He does not like getting stuck behind other cars, because once you get stuck, you make mistakes. And he was very close to hitting that wall. And you can see now he's starting to probably flash his lights. He wants to get past. He needs to get past this car of Camo as soon as possible. And you got to feel, though, for Rosberg stuff, because he was leading this race comfortably. He still should, I believe, he should be able to get 6th, maybe even 5th position, I feel, in this race. Within a shadow of a doubt, 207, 206 for Rosberg. He's, what is he, about 23 seconds?
had a really bad lap last race. That's why I was on pits.
That might have been pits, because he's still about 6 seconds, about 3-4 seconds off. So we'll have a look then. So 207.2 to a 206.7. So taking about half a second. Now this could be entirely, I think this might just be even stuck behind here. He's flashing his light. And is he getting out of the way?
Yes.
He is now. So he gets out of the way nice and early. And this might help Ethan a little bit, because look, Papano's going to come up on this. And he's going to be completely stuck behind all of this traffic.
Yes. Papano gets behind Camo off the hill. He's going to lose a bit of time.
Let's see, up they come then, up to the top of the hill. Papano. Ethan in P2. Not to need to make a mistake. Camo, I think, just tapped the wall slightly then. Or has he got away with it? Yes, he has. So, right now, where's Papano gone? He's dropping a little bit further back. He's still about that 3 seconds.
3 seconds behind.
So
he's not that far behind.
Not too far behind. He's in the range. If Ethan makes a mistake, he's there with him. But what Papano doesn't need to do is what he did earlier on, was make a mistake himself. He does not need to spin the car. He does not need to touch the wall. Up front, a 17-second lead now. Gazza's got. Still yet to come in, though, here in Australia with what, some 15 odd laps to go?
Yeah, it's 15. Quick maths evil.
Quick maths is working well in my head. Squad still P4, Wolf P5, Clark, Vectro, Rosberg, and there's Camo. Gap now is 3 seconds already between Vectro and Rosberg. Wow. By howdy he's flying. I think Vectro might have spun, you know, because he's dropped quite far down.
Yeah.
Yeah, last lap, 217 might explain a lot. Unless I've missed something, which I probably have. Top 2 again, getting closer and closer apart. Ethan may be on course, potentially hopefully, maybe, for a victory here today.
Oh,
He's got a chance. He has a chance, but Gaza has a chance, but Parno has a chance. Who knows? Squelch could win this thing. If Squelch wins this thing, I will eat my hat.
Well, you heard that there.
You've heard it here first. I will eat a hat and I will make a chocolate hat. A white chocolate hat, I might say, because I don't like dark chocolate. And yes,
white chocolate's nice.
White chocolate is the best chocolate, even though it's not real chocolate. Don't at me.
It's still chocolate.
It is the best chocolate. Don't at me at all. Well, if you got your best chocolate, let's put it in the chat. Random topic, I know, but they're always entertaining each other. Heavily well, Parno stuck right now, still behind Squelch, and he's losing a little bit of time right now. It's about to 3.5 seconds, so he's staying within that window. But now he does not need to be stuck behind that car ahead. And he currently is in this awkward situation where there is no opportunity to come through. There's only one place to come through, and that's if he just stays back, you know, let him through probably down these straights.
Where?
Yeah, probably down towards the Conrad Straight, down towards Chase. Probably the best place he's going to get out of the way. And he's already got through. So, never mind. I missed that. So, through straight away then. Gal's up. Is he going to come in the pits anytime soon? I'm wondering. Not this lap. Not a lot of action going on down the rest of the field, so I'll take you through then. So, Gaz up from Ethan Papano, Squelch, Wolf. Then we've got Clark, Vectro. Then Rosberg and Camo down the back. Rosberg and Camo both hit the wall. In the last, well, the last two hit the wall heavily with damage. And I want to say, Vetro's got no pace right now, Scald, has he? I wonder what the issue is, you think? Losing confidence, you reckon?
But he's still on the track.
Just about.
But, I don't know. Unless he's got damage.
Yes, he has damage somewhere he didn't see. But he just he's lost about. He's about as quick as Squelch, so fair play. He's not too slow. He's about 4 seconds slower than
probably a bad lap.
Cars around him.
Who's behind him?
Rosberg catching him pretty quickly now. Got now 1.2 seconds.
That Audi won't catch up in a straight line. A little slow.
Yeah, it's a still slow car, but very quick. In the right hand.
Yeah, good rain corners.
Almost like a Red Bull then, I suppose. And quick round corners, yeah, kind of slow down straight, but not anymore.
A Red Bull Renault.
And that's the old, the RBRR. Now it's the RBRH.
I don't know what RB it is. RB13?
Might be RB14. 15?
15, I think.
Yeah,
I think
15. Vetro wide off into the gravel, and that's not good. That's wide, and that's immediately Rosberg through. And, well, I thought Vetro might try and put a bit more of a fight there. Went wide. And struggling, like I said, then, with whatever the issue is. 13 laps to go, and really right now, it's this kind of stage where the attrition rate, you've just got to try and bring it home, don't you?
Yeah, I think if I was in Ethan's position.
Well, I hope you want to bring it home, Lewis, because if you don't bring it home, you're in the wall. And being in the wall, I imagine it's not very good.
No, I've been there many times.
And very much spectacularly, onto the Nürburgring. But let's not talk about that.
Well, no, that wasn't a wall, that was a Lamborghini.
It was also a wall. Well, to be fair, you didn't hit them. And a Merc, and the floor, and the sky, and I think a railing as well. One of those big things.
Well, I think that we're back on the Canada next season.
That'd be good to see. We'll see what happens.
Don't curse me.
Don't curse you. Well, you did. I did curse you last time because you were doing well, and then you just died. It flipped a million times.
I know, but because it's happened now, you would say, "Hope he doesn't crash this time."
And then you'll die. A painful death. Anyway. Lead is coming down a little bit right now, about 15, 16 seconds, give or take. It's bubbling around that window. Ethan will have about a 3-4 second. But Parno's just that little thorn in his side. He's staying there. He's not dropping back.
No.
Cam in the pits.
That's the problem.
A bit of lag.
He's not catching either.
And this is also another issue as well. And I don't like to mention some small things, but it has noticeable recently as well, and it's affected some of the drivers as Ethan gets a bit close to the wall. That there has been, as it actually goes off the road, that down at the chase, a bit of lag going on whenever someone pits. Now, it's got more noticeable, hasn't it?
I'll be honest, I haven't noticed it, but I've heard it's a big issue. And to be honest, that'll be the last thing I want. Well, there's many other things.
Yeah, there is many other things you don't want, but that is just...
Yeah, a screaming little girl in your ear would be worse, but... Yeah, that'll be bad at the top of the hill.
Yeah, especially Ethan went off, especially last time.
Sorry.
Meanwhile, like, you've got to say, and yes, I do agree, it's a bit of a procession right now, and there is not a lot of action. Camera in the pit lane a long time there. I'm wondering if that was for damage again.
Damage. Let's see. Oh, he's coming out.
Meanwhile, Vectro 2 seconds there, so the pace has improved a little bit. He's about a second or two slower than Rosberg, who he's got to be more frustrated than anything right now.
Yeah, I would be. If you've lost the lead from a comfortable lead. Yeah.
And you've always got to say, we cursed him royally earlier on, said if he doesn't make a mistake, he had an easy victory. He really had everything in his hand. That's why I always say anything can happen, and it usually does, because he had the lead comfortably. He made his pit stop. He did not need to push too far. He had about a 13-second lead to the car behind, give or take. And yet, he pushed hard, he lost traction, he got on the curb potentially, spun into the wall, and out, really, of the race. And since then, he's got a chance still to pick up a lot of positions. I think he can still get possibly at least 6th.
Yeah, because Schwantz has the pit as well, so...
We're waiting for Gaza to pit now. I'm expecting Gaz should drop down to way behind Mapano. It's about, what, out of 25-second pit stop. I think I've timed it now, roughly. Give or take, so it'll be very interesting to see what can happen there. Meanwhile, though, down they come into the bottom of the circuit now again here today. Beautiful driving, I must say, from all of these drivers. They've kept themselves out of all kinds of carnage, all kinds of issues. It's beautiful to see, isn't it? Here we go then, down the back of the circuit. 9 drivers still in this race. Rosberg closing up more and more on Clark. Wolf there in P5. Squelch in P4. Parno, Ethan and Gaza still your top 3.
For now, yeah.
So far, we're still waiting for your leader to come in.
Yeah, doing a Gaza.
Gaza doing what he does best, to be honest. Staying out of trouble, carrying on his merry way, and just holding on to every little ounce of steam he's got in the tank. And that's what he needs to do, especially if you're a leader. You are likely to finish in the lead. But, never say never. Especially in this race, as we've seen, with the leader crashing out, carnage, drama, and what is technically the leader that I don't think I expected here today.
Well, he started pole and he's quick, so I expected it.
It really is. Reverse to... Oh no! He's out!
No.
And whoa! Oh, Joe, he's gone, he's lost it! And that there has got to be a hammer blow into the side of the coffin! And my God! Ethan is out of the Australian Grand Prix with a disconnect! And just as I was about to say, and Wolf out, we've got a disconnection, we've got an issue here in Australia! So spiders have got into the routers, spiders are in the servers, and it's going wrong, and this could be issues. Here today, 2 disconnects. That there
That was surprising.
Shocking.
Ethan, I mean, Wolf's, well...
Gone. Ethan's gone. That's him as DC then.
No, I think it's 4, isn't it?
4, so...
So I just disconnect so I can...
You feel free. Let's not do that. I think you get in trouble now. We're live on the stream. You might get yourself in trouble. Well, Papano, now in the lead here in Australia. What about that Ferrari leads? Both of the Mercedes out. Both of the visceral cars out of the race. Skull's gone as well. Disconnect. That's 3. And we've got issues here as well. And this is trouble. And now down to 7 runners. What else is going to happen then? So, carnage. And I've gone. And I'm out. And it's gone wrong. Here in Australia. And it's gone from down the hill here. Wow. This is problems.
Well.
What? Oh no.
Who else? Oh god.
Oh dear.
Isn't that a mass DC?
Well, this is issues here in Australia because I've disconnected from the server. I don't know what's going on, but I feel that's not gone well.
No.
No.
Well, that escalated quickly. I tell you what, we should never curse again.
Well, yeah, we should never curse, but still, the stream carries on, by the way, like I said, so, well, how are you finding out there, by the way, as we have a small intermission break?
What, Wolf here?
Yeah,
It's nice.
I've had good pace.
I'm not muted in, never mind.
Gutted about, what happened with Milderman, unfortunately, when he spun.
Yeah, can you take us through that?
Clark well, I heard Ethan say that he had spun. I hit the brakes, Clark hit him, and I was on the brakes and I just couldn't avoid it. I ended up with about 15 aero damage and 9 of the suspension. It's a shame, just trying to think that it was downhill, just couldn't stop in time, but oh well. I carried on.
Yeah, carried on, well, but that, I don't know if everyone else is disconnected or not, but
There's 5 left.
Yeah, I think it's a mass DC.
So,
I would call it a mass DC.
Back in the server then. Down to 4. So I'll see if I can rejoin potentially.
Project Chaos servers. Oh yeah.
Down to 3. So I'm gonna watch it. Go down there. Let's see if I can see what's going on.
How many is left?
It's currently 3. We're gonna carry on the stream, lads. We're gonna see if it goes there. Let's see if it goes anywhere. Let's see. Can Evil
left?
rejoin? But issues here today in Australia. Just when things were getting interesting, as per usual, Evil Dragon Commentator Curse.exe has completely and utterly killed everyone. So
yeah.
Let's see if I can rejoin.
I knew something was wrong as soon as Ethan disconnected. I was like, oh, something's about to happen here.
And it went downhill from there, but let's see if I can rejoin. Nope, it's... Oh my dear lord.
What just happened?
Well, that was an interesting screen I just got then in the background. That my eyes. Well, it looks to me that I'm not getting back in, so I'm going to say this in hesitance, because I don't know what's happening, that Gaza has won this race then, I think, by inverted commas. I'm
100% sure the rules
I
are.
think it's whoever's leading
the lap before that disconnects, and so
yeah,
Yeah,
when
like
Ethan
a red
disconnected,
flag.
I think it's on that lap.
Yeah, because it's essentially a red flag, isn't it? Which means I wouldn't have passed Schultz
well,
if you don't restart.
utter carnage here in Australia. Well, keep you informed if what's going on, but it seems that there has been issues. In the meantime, I'm going to show you some nice pictures of cars driving on the circuit around my many photos I've got. Everything running well right now. So we'll carry on, and hopefully I will get an information what's happening in a few moments' time. So do hold a few moments. on the note of this, I think we're going to have to round the stream off potentially. I'm not too certain what has happened here, but get some words with some of the drivers potentially if we can. So do hold on a few moments time. If I can invite any of the drivers here, I will do so. As I send an invite out to some of the drivers then for a smaller talk and see how everything's gone. So Tier 3 had a mess disconnection as well. So issues all around then here in Australia. So the spiders very much intercepted the servers and killed it. And hopefully we can get some of the drivers in a few moments time potentially. So we'll find out. There we go. We got some of the drivers in then here to in potentially as well. So do hold on a few moments there as I can try and get Mr. Rosberg in. So then let's see. So Gaz, are you there?
No.
So how did you find it out there?
To share?
Yeah, I've got it to share.
How did you find the race out there up till the disconnection?
Tricky. Car wasn't great. A lot of like understeer, oversteer. Shame really, because I wanted to see that through to the end.
Indeed, an incredible shame there. And in terms of the start of the race, how did you find it out there on the opening lap or two? Just kind of kept out of trouble, just took up positions when others made mistakes.
Yeah, I didn't want to plough into someone having their own like mistake or incident, so I just thought I'd take it easy. Maybe a bit too cautious actually, but yeah.
Yeah, of course. And you're Rosberg, of course. You hit the wall earlier on. I haven't invited him, so maybe he'll join. But in terms when you're leading a race, and talking of Rosberg, who just joins us there, Rosberg, what happened out there?
What happened out there? Yes, on the back straight, wheel decided to disconnect, and my car straight hit the wall, and for half the straight, I guess. Had to make a repair stop and lost a lot of time with the repairs, and yeah, then I ended up in I had a mistake again, just brushed the wall and the rear wing was gone, like it was out of paper or something. And yeah, half of the race was quite good, had a really good pace, best sector 2 for the time, I guess, 43s. But when you can't decide if you win or not, but yeah, that was my race.
Let's see if anyone other driver here. Venture, are you there?
Yes, I am definitely here.
How did you find it out there?
The first part of the race, the car felt pretty good, but after that I made a small mistake, well, a big mistake actually, trying to take a second off of camo, I think. And I got on the grass and then the car spun around, so the almost dead last. But after that I was consistently running 208, 209, so that was just not good enough. And in the second part the car felt a bit more oversteery, so I think the tires didn't really work at the end.
Indeed, and as well, Ethan, are you there?
Yep, just about.
Just about. How did you find it out there? You're having a brilliant race.
Yep. Like, this is the most difficult track that I've driven at by far. Like, more difficult than the Nürburgring, and you know, I've put time and effort to learn the track, and I absolutely enjoy it. The car felt brilliant. The setup was brilliant. I just thought there's no point trying to go for the win straight away. Just let other people make mistakes. Just watching them, see how they're behaving, and just climbing my way through the field with letting people make mistakes. And I thought, once I was in the top 5, I was like, it's not worth pushing the car beyond its limit and binning the car. So I was just like, just take it nice and steady and just get to the end of the race. And then pitted, and then I jumped Papano because of the undercut, and I was looking to try and jump Gaza when he pitted. And then obviously, you know, Project Cars had other ideas, and has potentially, you know, robbed either me, Gaza, or Papano a potential win again. It's just disappointing, really, because what proves to be a brilliant, fabulous race just seems to get ruined by something. And once again, Project Cars has proved why it's sometimes a degrading game, and that's just my honest opinion. But yeah, I just gotta look at the positives and just hope it gets restarted, because I think that's what we're all hoping for.
Indeed. And especially if we had a few incidents out there, Ethan. Did you see what happened at all with that incident?
Well,
Motorman?
there were. Yeah, I was right behind him. He just lost the rear. Thankfully, there was a gap big enough just for a Mercedes to get through. Yeah, brown alert moment there. To be honest, I think whoever crashes or like loses the car just proves just how much practice they've done at this track. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it just shows the difference between a driver if they learn the track or not. But end of the day, we've all been affected in some way or another, and unfortunately we've never got to finish this race, it seems, until whatever the coordinators decide.
Indeed. And back to you, Wolf, as well. During that, you how much damage did you pick up, by the way?
I picked up 14 damage on the front and 9 suspension damage on the front right, and it cost me about 2.5 seconds of that. Which is a shame, because I hit him at about 10 or 15 miles an hour.
Yeah, which we of course saw there as well. We carnage drama as well, but it's one of those races as well as getting into it. It was getting exciting, and then boom! I may have cursed everyone again.
Did.
Yeah, I did. You did as well, to be honest, Lewis. Not gonna lie, you kind of did as well. We're getting a habit of doing this. But I bit surprised. I do not believe we're going to be able to get it back going tonight for the last part of the race.
That'll be impossible. Because
that will be impossible. So I will close and round off the stream then. So thank you everyone for joining us. Everyone in the stream, everyone in the comments, and all of the drivers who've joined me today in the good old box of boxing. Until next week, of course, where we go to Bruno, and potentially, if we are having a rerun, of course, after the season here at Bathurst, we will see you soon. Until then, take care. And most importantly, ta-ra. I've been Evil, and Vectro's been Vectro. Because I get to do this for once. Until next time, goodbye.